We're still trying to figure it out. There's a story that explains the Garifuna coming as a result of an encounter between Africans who escaped slavery. There's a story of a slave ship crashing, and sinking off the coast of St. Vincent. The only survivors were slaves or black people. They made their way to the shore, and the Kalinago people invited them into their communities. And this is it was a union of people. I guess an example of a syncretic community that was born in St. Vincent. There's another story that explains the origins of the Garifuna as a people who were derived from the brother of Mansa Musa, who was one of the greatest black African emperors. He's noted as one of the richest men of all time. And his brother is said to have gone on a voyage to cross the Atlantic Ocean before Christopher Columbus. He made his way maybe to St. Vincent and, made contact with the people who were there. And this too, is a potential explanation of how the Garifunas came to be. When the British came to the island and the French, they met them there. So the indigenous people who came up from South America, I guess visually, they kind of look maybe like the Aztecs or the Mayas, in terms of skin and hair texture and things like that. But the Garifuna they had the culture of these people, but they were African. So the British called them the Black Caribs, right? And they used this blackness to discredit these people, the right to their home, to the island, so they could take it away from them. They said, well, if they're black, they must be escaped slaves, which means they have no right to be there. So they used that to justify a genocide, more or less, because these people were defending the island. They were for more than 200 years, Europeans were coming to try to take it, and they couldn't take it because they were fighting them off. So what happened in the end, there's a story of one of the last heroes of the Garifuna, greatest hero, a guy called, in St. Vincent, he's called Joseph Chatoyer, but I'm sure his name was something else because Chatoyer is French and Joseph is English. So, there's some research that needs to happen still. But Joseph Chatoyer is the only hero of the island, the country of St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the moment. He's the only hero. And there's an annual celebration on the 14th of March. And over the past 10 years, I personally started to see a rise in the consciousness of the Vincentian people. And I also started to see what seems like a sort of, if you want to call it a returning, people from other places coming back to St. Vincent, claiming that this is their homeland, that they were exiled from it. And I guess it sparked interest, it became very interesting for me, and I went into it. Garifuna means the people of cassava, la gente de la yuca. Yes, this is what Garifuna, or this is a part of the identity of these people.
Con el hermano Marciano de la comunidad Wayuu, ¿verdad? Del idioma Wayunaiki. ¿De dónde?
De la Guajira.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Marciano.
¿Y cómo se llama tu grupo étnico?
Wayuu.
Wayuu. Aquí, ¿cómo te llamas, hermano?
Benito Puchaina.
Luis Misael Socarrás y Puana.
Quiero hacer una pregunta para poder comprobar de que aquí tenemos comunidad garífuna, ¿verdad? Y pues hay una cercanía entre lo que es nuestro idioma, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Entonces
señor.
queremos brevemente comparar algunas palabras. We want to compare a few words, between the Garifuna people and the Wayuu people.
Guayupia.
¿Cómo dices? ¿Dientes?
Nai.
Ari.
Nai.
Okay. Mano.
Ahap. Ahap.
¿Cómo dice mano?
Uabu.
Okay. ¿Cómo dices lluvia?
Cuya.
How do you say rain?
Cuya.
Oh, sí. ¿Cómo dices brazo?
No tiene nada.
Dele berengo ni leya. No.
I don't know.
Después de que ya descubrimos todos de que hay similitud entre el idioma Wayuu Naiki, ¿verdad? De Colombia, entre Colombia y Venezuela, y el Garifuna.
Para nosotros es una gran alegría, como lo dije ayer al cierre del evento, de que el mayor premio que nosotros nos llevamos de acá es haber descubierto y haber encontrado que tenemos unos hermanos lingüísticamente y que no los tenemos tan lejos y que de verdad la alegría que llevamos es tan inmensa y es lo que vamos a decir allá al pueblo guayú cuando lleguemos. Tenemos unos hermanos que a pesar de que no están acá, están en el Caribe, son garífunas y en la lengua es mucho lo que nos parecemos. O sea, ya somos dos, Yamashi.
¿Cómo dices dos?
Biama.
¿Cómo
Ya
dices
somos
dos?
dos, Yama,
¿Y
con la
dices
misma
dos?
lengua.